Today on r/AskReddit, what's the worst thing you've ever found in your food at a restaurant? Glass. When I was in 7th grade, my family was eating one of those big family style salads at an Olive Garden. I'm weird and eat salad with a spoon. I put a spoonful of salad into my mouth and felt something cut the inside of my cheek while I bit down on something hard. I pulled out a bloody chunk of glass. The restaurant accused us of lying, even though we didn't ask for anything in return. We just wanted to let them know so no one else got hurt. Plus, if we were going to lie, why would my parents have chosen their 13-year-old daughter to be the target of salad glass? They did end up comping me and my dad's meals, but we still paid for my mom's and other siblings. Bruh. If I was a parent in this situation, I would summon the energy of all Karens to destroy that person who said my child lied about them cutting their mouth when they were the one to blame. I found glass too. Was at a friend's birthday party at a pizza restaurant. We were having ice cream for dessert and I noticed what I thought was ice in my glass ice cream bowl. Even as a kid I've had sensitive teeth, so I ate around it. When I finished I noticed that the ice hadn't melted and I realized that it was a chunk of glass which must have broken off another bowl as mine was intact. I told the birthday kid's mum and she showed a waitress who came back with another bowl of ice cream, even though it finished the previous one. The last 2 times I went to Steak and Shake, I got earrings in my shakes both times. One was a stud earring and the other was a hoop. I won't eat there ever again, even if it was my only choice. Maybe that's a special fear doing. Collect 5 sets of trendy earrings. Only at Steak and Shake. An entire rat snake in a number 10 sized can of green beans. The guess was, is crawled into the can at some point and just got filled with beans and then retorted. The can guy said it probably drowned before it was cooked. Poor fella. How do you find a snake in a can of green beans and nobody comments on it? I used bandage with blood on it in my guacamole. Yay, found it when it went into my mouth. Back when I was a teenager I had a job at a fast food restaurant. That morning, while doing prep, I cut my finger. I put a band-aid on it and continued working. Later in the shift, while I was frantically making sandwiches, the band-aid was lost. I've often wondered who found that on their sandwich. There were no complaints, so it may have been consumed. I don't think I have ever noped out of a post on the first one I read. Thanks. Enjoy the rest. I'm out. Things like that immediately make me think of all the bloodborne pathogens and stuff that cold bean on it. Yuck. Not really a restaurant, but my Eunice cafeteria. I took the salad. There was the corpse of a frog neatly cut in half. Another guy found the other half. No clue how it got there. A staple in my Chinese food. To be fair, Chinese food is a staple. Worst thing I found in my food was what turned out to be cardboard from the box of mushrooms, but was unidentifiable when I pulled it out of my mouth initially. Worst thing my boyfriend found in his food. An M&M in a burrito from Taco Bell. That may or may not have been dropped out of the mouth of the person who made the burrito at Taco Bell. It was horrific. The mystery. My BF called the Taco Bell and demanded to know if because it was the holidays people had been throwing around M and MS or something. The manager looked in the back and said, "Huh. Now that you said it, I'm seeing a lot of M and MS back here." The M&M thing is so hilarious to me. Thanks for sharing. I was at a local restaurant chain Northeast US and ordered a buffalo chicken wrap. Got about halfway in and bit into a large metal bolt and chipped my tooth. Not a good time. 0/10 recommend. Zinc and calcium in one meal. Sounds like a win to me. I was too scared to ask why that happened, so I just threw it away and got out of the place. This happened to me when I was a kid, but it turned out to be my tooth. A completely raw chicken wing covered in sauce in a basket of cooked chicken wings. A cabinet hinge in a salad. I was given a dirty spoon at the local Waffle House. When I asked for a replacement, the waitress got upset and gave me a long explanation as why the dirty spoon was not her fault since the previous shift had washed them. I simply replied, "But you are the one that gave it to me." I don't think she liked me. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. What matters is that I get a replacement spoon. Ah yeah. Waffle House. I got a cup with a lipstick stain. A girl's shoe. I was dining outside once, and this little girl was jumping around dancing nearby while waiting for her parents, I guess. My back was to her, so I didn't see what happened. She must have done a little kick of her foot at one point because her shoe went flying up in the air and landed in my dinner. Her father came over shortly thereafter and bought me a replacement. And then he gave her a talking to. Having a peaceful dinner interrupted by a sparkly kid landing in it was a bit surreal. Not me. But when I was at Panera, my friend found an Allen wrench in her salad. Like, how TF does that happen? What I just posted about my mom finding a bolt the size of an orange in her Panera salad. The duck is going on. Panera. Frick. Allen drooped his wretch on mine too. What are the coincidences? When I was working at a hospital in the dietary department, we had a pizza day one day of the month. So we got in pre-made crusts so we could make the pizzas quickly. Made them all and proceeded to slice them when one of them had an electrical wire coiled up throughout the entire base of the pizza. I was like 15 or 16 at the time, and I remember being absolutely shocked at how an entire wire could be coiled into a pizza crust. The wire was like a teal color and the color had leaked into the surrounding dough. Man, that was messed up. Absolutely shocked. Electrical wire pun. I found a full receipt crumpled up into the size of a marble in the gravy of a Yorkshire pudding at an English pub style restaurant. I bit on it. Was confused. Pulled it out of my mouth and unwrapped a full legible receipt. From the night before. I showed the waiter and he said he'd talk to the owner. The owner said I could choose to pay my bill or the receipt I found in my food. The total on the receipt I found was almost $30 more than what I ordered. I was shocked with the service and never went back. I also left without paying. Duck that place. That's such a weird response. But having worked in a few terrible places like that, I'm assuming the owner thought it was a scam to try and get free food. Overall a bad way to handle customer complaints, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was because of the owner's hubris. Glad you left without paying. What a weird way to run a business. A giant chunk of hair in my salad. Like, it wasn't even a good prank because as soon as I started mixing it, I saw this massive chunk of hair and stopped. I sent it back and the waitress asked, "Would you like a replacement salad?" I said, "Hell no. I wanna pay whatever I owe for the drinks and go somewhere else." She got the manager that I definitely didn't ask for or want to speak to. Manager said drinks were on the house and asked me to stay and let him make it up to us. I politely declined since he was being so polite. I took my free drinks and left. Never went back there again. I did get about $30 or $40 worth of free alcohol out of it though. I didn't ask for it. But it was nice of him to do that. My girlfriend at the time was so grossed out by this giant ball of hair that she actually started dry heaving. That's what got the waitress attention. That sounds absolutely disgusting. And ridiculous. Nothing but tomatoes. After telling the dude to put everything but tomatoes, I went to McDonald's and wanted a bun less burger keto and ended up getting a set of buns. My fault for not checking the bag before leaving, but man was I pissed. You said you want tomatoes with that? I got a cream cheese baguette on the go and was eating it while walking. Did not really look at what I was biting into. One bit was quite difficult to chew. And I pulled a finger of a latex glove out of my mouth. Client bit into a shard of metal in his beef soup. Broke his tooth. Got $10K from the restaurant. Boom. Lawyered. An inch long bolt in my mashed potatoes. Fortunately I found it with my fork. And not my teeth. The matter D. Informed me later that the bolt had fallen off of their industrial mixer. I like the people that take responsibility like this. A piece of copper in my egg roll. And once I found metal bristles from a scrub brush in my lobster roll. It's called getting your minerals. An eye patch in my salad. I was friends with the owner and cook. They swore it was not a joke and had no idea how it got there. It's not what was in the food, but the state of the food. This incident that I'm about to describe was all my fault for not knowing better. I do not blame the restaurant in the slightest. So, it's one of those buffet places where you grab your stuff and go. Right? Well, I wanted meat, so I was in the meat area and grabbed a few tasty looking things to eat. I headed back to my table. Took a few bites and realized something was off. The meat was raw. Turns out, I was meant to pick the meat I wanted cooked and take it to one of the chefs. But there were no signs or anything telling me to do this, plus I didn't see the chefs. So I ate raw meat. I really should have known it was raw from the way it looked. But I was a bit of an idiot at the time. I waited an entire day with bated breath, but I didn't get any food poisoning or anything. Given that it was literally raw meat, I got lucky. Don't try this at home. Kids. Properly handled beef is perfectly safe to eat raw. Pork and chicken. Not so much. Not really a restaurant. Or a thing. But one time I picked up some Jack in the Box for breakfast one lazy morning, and when I opened up the sandwich I ordered there was a bite taken out of just the sausage patty. I was both confused and pissed off. Just like WTF. I called Jack in the Box, and they said that it wasn't a bite mark, but that a conveniently shaped segment of the sausage patty had just fallen off, and that they had found the missing part. They gave me a new sandwich. I'm not sure I buy their story though. Bizarre experience lol. Worked at McDonald's in my teens. Definitely possible it was a conveniently shaped piece that chipped, but definitely should not have been sent out like that. Half a green caterpillar in my salad. Denny's. Camelback Road. Phoenix. Gross. But at least insects in fresh produce is somewhat expected. How the actual heck do some of these things get in people's foods? This thread is making me afraid to go to restaurants. I had once a wasp in my cake. It was dead, and I didn't have to pay. Free dead wasp. Right on. My brother and I went to eat at a Mexican restaurant. And I came in a few minutes after him. We ate through that basket of chips. And were brought a refill. But the chewed up gum in the wrapper was facing me instead of him this time. I turned around and said, "Gross. I don't want your nasty chewed up gum on my side." His eyes got as big as saucers. And he said, "That's not my gum." The restaurant did not change the pieces of wax paper in the bottom of the chip basket. My brother immediately spit the mouthful of chewed up chips and salsa into the chip basket. And we notified our waiter. We saw our waiter pick up the basket of chips. Walking into the kitchen. Dump the whole thing in the top of the chip warmer. Yes. My brother's chewed up chips were dumped into the restaurant's supply of chips. I was eating my combo meal at a fast food chain, and in my fries there was a long blonde hair. Not mine, I have brown curly hair. So we take the meal back to the restaurant and show the manager. She refunds our money and puts us in the books for a free combo meal the next time. Next time around we go get the free one. Guess what was in it? A long straight brown hair. We take it back and again she refunds us. It happened a third time and we haven't been back to that location since. That location was the closest to my house, so that is why we kept going to that one. Nothing is wrong with the chain. Just that location. I guess all ended well, because that location closed due to coronavirus. Oh well. Went to McDonald's years and years ago. Ordered a McChicken. Took a huge bite. Tasted funny. Blue moldy lettuce. Like, when you're making the food, how can you not tell the lettuce is moldy? It was all blue. Bit into a grilled chicken sandwich that was almost 100% gristle. Most disgusting bite of my life. A short and curly hair between 2 eggs. It did not come from somebody's head. Not my story, but years ago someone ordered a pizza from a semi-fancy pizza place, not Pizza Hut budget, but not 5-star restaurant. When they got the pizza they found there was a squished rat on the bottom of the base. Ratatouille went splattertouille. Not a restaurant. But I opened a large bag of chips once and found a factory worker's glove inside. Not so much disgusted as I was baffled. Got a bag of chips once where the chips were all still uncooked potato slices. I had a small dead roach in a bowl of butter once. I was sitting at the bar, and so when I saw it and freaked out. The bartender equally freaked out, and she very apologetically replaced it. It's the South. It was raining. They had the bowls of butter under the bar ready to hand out with the bread. So I didn't storm out or anything. Shite happens. A clump of hair. I still gag to this day whenever I drive by a Burger King. Half chewed acrylic nail. I'd say a bunch of hairs in my cheese. I continued eating after the first and second. I'm not picky. Was hungry but then they just started coming and I found more than 10. I wonder how that food was prepared. I found a small plastic monkey think barrel of monkeys that was used as a decoration throughout the restaurant in my salad. It looked exactly like a tiny brain. But I found it inside a piece of fried chicken, so I'm guessing it was a kidney or something. But ooh. Chicken brain. At school I found a ducking tooth in my burrito and it wasn't mine. I went to a local chain restaurant and ordered a steak salad. I started choking halfway through the meal and couldn't cough out the foreign object. I ran to the bathroom and made myself throw up only to find out that it was an aluminum bread tie that had been lodged in my throat. Never went back. I have 2. A metal bolt in my pancake and a cricket in the bottom of my milkshake. Not a restaurant, but in elementary school I found half of a pencil in my sausage biscuit. My friend found the other half in his. I used to love Burger King's $1 spicy chicken sandwiches back in the day, not sure if they still sell it. Last time I ate it, I took a bite and noticed the chicken, which was orange on the outside, was completely black in the inside. Like the whole chicken patty was black in the inside. I received a sandwich with shards of what must have been half a dozen toothpicks. Nothing as bad as some of these comments. Geez. A little bit of plastic wrapping in a side salad. Guess they ripped the bag. A hair or 2 in a breakfast skillet. At least they took it off the bill without us asking when we brought it up. An entire spoon buried beneath a refried beans and rice plate. Waitress told me the cook left the spoon on there on accident and absent-mindedly dumped the food on there. Honest mistake. Believe it or not. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more dank curated content from Crosspostable Reddit.